This is home. Twin States News starts right now.
Construction began today in Tumsumba on what Lauderdale County's District 2 supervisor says will be a 4 to 6 week project. Twin States News' Jasmine Stevenson spoke to a local business on the inconvenience this may cause.
Today is the first day of the Will Garrett Road being closed. Store manager of KAO Campground, Angela Swartz, says the 4 to 6 week project will be an inconvenience, but it's something that needed to be done.
It's going to be a temporary inconvenience. Our campers will just need to come in from a different way at the Russell exit for a short amount of time, but it is an inconvenience that we are more than willing to put up with.
The previous bridge on Will Garrett Road only held about 3 tons. District 2 Supervisor Wayman Newell says over time the bridge worsened.
The Lauderdale County Board was scared that the state was going to come in and close the bridge, so we put out bids for a new bridge, which was a little better than $1 million, and it is almost completed. And now we've got to take out the old bridge, tie the new bridge and road in with the existing road so that we can open it up.
Because the old bridge was rated at only 3 tons, RVs and campers were directed by their GPS to take a longer route to avoid the bridge. Swartz says now campers will have the confidence to cross the bridge.
The bridge will be great because it'll probably help update their GPSs for them. So when every time we take a reservation on the phone, we have to make sure to tell them, please take exit 165. We understand your GPS is probably going to send you around. So this way they're going to have the confidence that when they see that bridge, it's going to be able to handle their very expensive units that they have, and it's going to bring them in the right way.
Supervisor Newell says the new bridge will be rated at about 30 to 40 tons. Jasmine Stevenson, Twin States News, Tumsumba.
East Mississippi Veterans Foundation is making progress on the memorial that's set to be placed in front of the National Guard complex. They've secured Meridian's former RF-4C Phantom II aircraft to be placed in the memorial park.
I had some of my most fondest times flying the F-4. This airplane represents part of the sound of freedom that you hear every day. Without the man that you see in uniform or the jet flying over, we wouldn't be able to appreciate and have the freedoms that we do. So every time you hear that noise, don't get mad at it. Just think of all the good it does for you.
The aircraft is set to arrive in Meridian this summer. Gas prices are on the rise across the country. Energy analysts say tensions abroad and lower COVID-19 cases could make the situation worse. Mark Meredith has the latest from the White House.
With the world on edge over a potential war between Russia and Ukraine and COVID cases on the decline, experts are warning Americans could soon see even higher prices at the gas pump. AAA reports the national average for a gallon of regular is up 21 cents from a month ago and 91 cents from a year prior. Energy analysts believe prices are likely to keep climbing with travel demand surging as COVID cases drop. And experts warn a prolonged conflict in Eastern Europe could make the situation even worse.
We could see prices moving 50 to 75 cents more per gallon if the tensions escalate between Russia and Ukraine.
Russia is one of the largest producers of oil in the world. If it ultimately invades Ukraine, U.S. and European officials are vowing to impose harsh sanctions against Russia, which officials say will likely impact the energy industry worldwide.
When America stands for her principles, it requires sometimes for us to put ourselves out there in a way that maybe we will incur some cost.
To prevent price spikes, last week U.S. officials traveled to Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates to discuss global energy supplies. The White House says it did not directly ask the Saudis to increase oil production at those meetings, but critics say the Biden administration may have little choice in the future.
We've gone from being energy independent to now he's groveling before the Saudis, asking that they pump more.
A potential energy crisis could also create huge political headaches for the White House. Democrats are already facing an uphill battle heading into this year's midterm elections.
Struggling to keep up with your rising energy bills? you're not alone. An exclusive new report by Fox Business finds that millions of Americans couldn't pay their home energy bills almost every month last year. Lydia Hu is at New York's largest power plant with this report.
A group called Help Advisor analyzed the most recent data from the U.S. Census Bureau exclusively for Fox Business to look for trends in spending on utility bills. They found that 24% of Americans, roughly 1 in 4, reduced or forwent basic expenses like food and medicine so they could pay their energy bill in the last 12 months. 16% of Americans kept their homes at an unsafe temperature to lower their energy bill. About 4.5%, or more than 9 million Americans, said they could not pay their home energy bill almost every month in the past year. That rises to 41 million Americans who say they've been unable to pay at least once within the past year. These trends are particularly concerning, especially for Americans who are on fixed incomes.
Some of our members are telling us that they're foregoing certain medical procedures because they don't have the money for the out-of-pocket expenses to get these procedures done. And they're telling us that they're buying fewer groceries.
The national balance for utility accounts in arrears climbed 10% from 2020, reaching $22.3 billion last year. California and New York were among the states leading the country, each reporting more than $1 billion in arrears in their states. The concern is that there's no relief in sight for Americans. Right now, most are under winter shut-off moratoriums, but those will start to expire come March and April, meaning millions of Americans will have to face these skyrocketing utility bills.
Fears Russia could soon invade Ukraine spiked today after Russian President Vladimir Putin announced his intention to recognize 2 breakaway regions in Ukraine as independent. Madeline Rivera is in Washington with the latest developments.
To give the republics the right to secede from a single state without any conditions, at first glance, this is generally incomprehensible, some kind of madness.
Russian President Vladimir Putin in a primetime address to his nation on Monday, giving his own history lesson about Ukraine, a country he repeatedly argues has long-standing ties with Russia and was once part of the Russian Empire. Now, in a move foreign affairs analysts see as a bid to reclaim territory, Putin will recognize independence for 2 separatist regions of Ukraine, Luhansk and Donetsk.
When it gets down to what he is talking about here, is that Ukraine never should have been separated from the Soviet Union. It is a part of Russia, and I'm taking back the land that is rightfully ours.
Questions remain as to exactly how Putin moves forward. U.S. officials warn as many as 190,000 Russian troops surround the Ukrainian border, ready to invade. All eyes are also on Western leaders to see how they respond.
You can feel the reverberations across Eastern Europe and Western Europe, where there is a lot of concern. Where does Putin stop? Where does this thing end?
The U.S. responding with sanctions.
We've been very clear about what they are, how severe they're going to be, and we'll see what Mr. Putin decides to do.
Ukrainian forces are preparing for the worst as shelling from Russian-backed separatists intensify. President Biden, who also spoke with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Monday, has signaled he is open to meeting with President Putin if Russia hasn't invaded Ukraine just yet. The prospects of that summit dimming, though, after Putin's speech on Monday.
Tonight, we meet a 14-year-old in Mississippi foster care who considers himself to be fun. He loves sports and would love to go to Disney World someday, preferably with his forever family. Thanks to our partnership with the nonprofit Grant Me Hope, let's learn more about Zakari.
Hi, my name is Zakari. I am 14 years old and I like to play with toys and be playful. My favorite subjects are math and reading. I like to do reading because you can understand reading more than you can with language. My favorite things to read on my own are stuff that I can remember, like tornadoes, like words instead of just a chapter. It's like reading books that are very short. My favorite foods are spaghetti, rice, bread, green beans, and macaroni. If I could go anywhere in the world, it would be Gulfport. Because it has sand, you can go swimming at the beach, and there's a lot of things you can do. Because they have an arcade and volleyball and all that. My ideal family is one that is fun, and they respect me for who I am, and they show love. If I were adopted into a family, I would be super grateful, and I would be respectful, and I would be loyal to you for the rest of my life.
If you're interested in adopting Zakari or other children in Mississippi foster care, visit our website. There you'll find a link to the Grant Me Hope site.